And I want to thank Lauren Fagan is here tonight from Long Island Music Therapy Services, and she is going to help us learn how music therapy will calm the mind. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's lovely to have us all in the same space tonight. I know it's sometimes an extra effort these days, but it's lovely to have you all here. My name is Lauren Fagan. I'm a licensed creative arts therapist, as well as a board certified music therapist with Long Island Music Therapy. And tonight we'll be exploring music therapy and how we can utilize music in our own self-care to calm our mind amongst these stressful times. So what is music therapy? Oftentimes it's not uncommon to not necessarily know what music therapy is. We know music has therapeutic value in our day-to-day lives, but music therapy is actually an evidence-based practice that can only be administered by a board certified music therapist. So this is a national board certification. We go through extensive training at the bachelor's and master's level, as well as additional practicums, internships. So while music is supportive in our day-to-day lives, music therapy can only be administered, again, by a board certified music therapist. And I like to describe music therapy as the use of music to address non-musical goals. And we'll touch on what those goals are in just a bit. And additionally, there's therapy, which means there's a therapeutic relationship between the therapist and the client or the patient, using music as the force to initiate a positive change towards these goals. So what do music therapists address? We work across a variety of goals across life that may be communicative, social, motor, both fine motor and gross motor, physiological, that mind-body connection, as well as some cognitive goals. And additionally, what we're focusing on tonight are emotional goals. So this may look like decreased stress, enhanced coping, increased relaxation, as well as identifying resources that may work for the client or ourselves in our daily lives to know that we have options that we can utilize. So where do music therapists work? Music therapy can be utilized across the lifespan from birth to the end of life, and really everybody in between. It can be applied across diagnoses. It can be utilized for anybody in a day-to-day life situation amongst a wide spectrum of needs. And music therapists can serve clients and patients in private practice, such as agencies like Long Island Music Therapy, where we do virtual services. We may do in-home services. We can work in hospitals across a variety of needs, across a variety of units, all the way from neonatal intensive care units to palliative end-of-life care, cancer care, general medical, across a variety of ways in hospitals, outpatient facilities, mental health agencies, long-term care residences, hospice, as well as working in schools and school districts with students with IEPs. And while we're living in a world with so many different types of therapy, why music? Why music therapy? Music is a unique form of communication. We are musical beings from birth, from actually before birth. We have a heartbeat, we have a breath rhythm. We are musical beings. We have a rhythm in which we walk and entrain and live our lives in. So music is a natural fit, and it's a unique way that we're able to communicate. Oftentimes music is identified as almost phenomenological, having something that we just can't pinpoint on as much as it is, because it is such a Such a unique part of who we are as human beings and the way we communicate with each other, as well as ourselves. It's connected to, but not dependent on spoken language. Whether we have the ability to speak or we're gaining that ability, and we're verbal or nonverbal, some things can't necessarily be said with words, in which music is able to jump in. We're able to utilize music with emotion, self-regulation, higher levels of thinking, memory, some movement. It's able to connect to all of those parts of our beings. It can transcend language. It's able to connect amongst a wide variety of people in their unique cultural aspects. It's experienced in many ways. It's unique in the way it's processed in the brain. It's not skill dependent. Anybody can be a part of music. Anybody can receive music. Anybody can play, or even just be in the musical space. And music is developmental. It's organized in our brain. It allows us to be organized in a set and a predictable and a safe space. And some of those times that we may have to utilize music in our day-to-day lives to calm our minds, as the presentation says, not only day-to-day stressors and traumas that we may be going through, but also it would be a fail to not acknowledge the times that we're living in and have been living in for the last year and a half. The COVID-19 pandemic, it is a time of immense stress. It may feel like we're on a roller coaster and there's adrenal fatigue every day, whether we're turning on the news and getting new updates, or learning when we're going back to work in person, or navigating unexpected changes to our daily routines. Whether you have children at home or whether you're navigating your own day-to-day, there's such a plethora of stress during this time that our body takes in as trauma as well. We're living through a worldwide trauma during this pandemic. And the grief and the loss that comes with so many aspects, whether it may be the loss and grieving of a loved one, maybe the loss of a daily routine, going to work, setting up at your desk. Maybe it's grieving just seeing your friends and your family. There's a tremendous amount of stress that we're holding on to, both mentally and physically during this time, on top of all daily stressors and life stressors that are typical for somebody to experience. And like I said in the last slide, the stress can be held in our body, it can be held in our mind, and the two are more interconnected than we think. Stress can clearly enhance anxiety. It can definitely take away our mood. It can shift our mood. We can be in a preoccupied state or a dysregulated state. We may have a lack of control of anger when we're in stress. One may be experiencing periods of depression. It affects our memory, short-term memory, the way we interact in our daily lives. And it also affects our emotional awareness while traumatic events are going on. And I see some things popping in the chat. Oh, just wanting to monitor. There's not something going on. I hope you all can hear me. We don't see any new messages popping up, so I'll continue on. So I love this image because it has a great depiction of where stress actually lives in our brain. Our prefrontal cortex, our decision making, it weakens. Habitual responses, you could see how stress and all of the hormones that it secretes with it really have an effect not only on our daily lives in which we can measure, but additionally the things that may be going on that we're not aware of in our body. I'll leave this up for a second for those that may want to take a look at this. You may see our arousal systems down here. Stress response.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hear somebody popping off mute. Is there a question? No, well, welcome if you're new to the space. So those are some of the ways it can affect our mind. But I'm sure many of us know, I'm sure many of us have woken up with a stiff neck or not a great night's sleep, that stress can affect our body. It can lead to headaches, those body aches, that creaky feeling that we were just sharing, insomnia, lack of sleep, some respiratory, cardiovascular, those are so interconnected with stress. Digestive health. We may overeat. Some of us utilize food as a soothing mechanism during periods of stress. Some of us don't eat, and it takes a toll on our bodies. Substance use or substance abuse during this time of additional stress. Our immunity may decrease. So stress has a huge role in our body's physical health. And we can see that feeling worried, I love this photo because it has or this illustration rather, because it has such a great depiction of all the ways in which it affects our big systems, our central nervous system, with heartbeat faster, breathing quickens, gastro issues such as stress and the rush of it, GI, hair, skin, hair loss, fertility issues, mental health problems, and then long-term risks such as increased risk of type 2 diabetes. So not only can stress take away our quality of life mentally in the moment, but it may actually have long-term effects on our body as well. So why we bring this up is to identify some resources tonight that you could utilize in your day-to-day lives to navigate the stress that may be coming up in a plethora of ways. And we'll explore how music can support that a little later and for the rest of the time. But for now, we also know that exercising, eating well, resting, oftentimes when we're getting the least rest is when we could utilize the most rest in our lives. Organizing, self-care. And self-care may look like taking that bubble bath with the bath bomb, or watching down to watch a reality TV show with a quart of Ben and Jerry's. But self-care can also look like coming to an educational meeting in which you can take some tidbits for yourself in your day. It can look like organizing your space to support yourself for the next day. Self-care can have a wide range of what it looks like in our life and how we can utilize it to cope and to calm. And additionally, as a music therapist, it'd be amiss to not mention how we can utilize music for self-care. We can play as well as singing. And whether you have played in an orchestra all throughout your schooling and college and you're a professional musician, or maybe you're one who sings in the shower, there's one way that we can navigate and utilize music in our day-to-day lives, no matter what our level is, whether we're a deep appreciator of music and we listen every single chance we get, whether we utilize receptive measures to maybe take a moment of relaxation after a long day, after a stressful moment. Utilizing music and meditation, maybe it's the start of your day, or after an intense phone call, or taking 2 minutes before you go to bed and utilizing music and meditation. Or it could be analyzing music. And this could be in a variety of ways, but we can utilize the analyzation of music to go through maybe a lyric analysis of a song that sticks with you and you feel particularly resonates with you. Maybe it's reading through the lyrics and finding a line that you could utilize as a mantra in a day-to-day life. There's a variety of ways in which we can use music. And I'd like to take some time tonight to recognize you guys for carving out some time in your daily lives and your busy schedules to take a moment of rest. And so we're going to spend the next about maybe 15 minutes or so to fill your own cup, so to speak, and to give you a real life experiential of what it can look like to utilize music therapy or music coping skills. So I'm going to share my screen. Can everybody see okay? Give me a thumbs up if you could see.
Yes.
So I'm going to invite you guys to maybe get comfortable. Feel free to turn off your camera if you would like, if that makes you feel in a better space. Maybe if you're sitting down and you prefer to lie down. If you'd like to keep your eyes open, feel free to let your mind wander and stare at the visual on the screen. Whatever feels good for you right now. There's no right or wrong. Draw attention to your breath. Just take notice. Maybe it's high in your chest or down in your belly. There's no right or wrong. Let your eyes drift shut. Feel your body be supported by the seat or the floor beneath you. Pay attention to the top of your head, all the way to your crown. Just notice and scan your body and see where you're holding your attention today. Let your attention draw down. Maybe it creeps down to your brow bone as you release your eyelids. Let your cheeks soften. Maybe release your tongue. Let it soften at the bottom of your mouth. Hinge your jaw. With nothing to do. Besides, just be. See if on your next inhale, you can release whatever tension you're holding in your neck or your shoulders. Maybe feel a warm sensation creep wherever your attention goes. Let this warmth go down your chest. Down your back. In between your shoulder blades as you feel everything melt. Let it Continue to creep down your arms, shooting out your fingertips. Continues to travel down your front and your back. See if you can soften your lower back. Just gentle ways we can be kind to our body and allow yourself to release.
Lauren, I'm so sorry. I accidentally muted you.
That
Thank
is
you.
okay. Kind of like life, things happen. And we can identify those resources and continue on. And if you didn't get to hear me before, see if you can bring that warmth down your back to your seat, through your sit bones. Continue on through the tops of your thighs, around your knees and down your legs. As you feel that tension melt away, breath goes slower, whatever feels comfortable. Warmth continues down into your feet as you feel the ground underneath you steady. As that tension continues to melt away. Let your mind wander to your favorite place outside. Maybe it's familiar, maybe it's a place you've never been, but it's yours. Taking all the sights, sensations around you. Notice what that air feels like when you breathe in. Is it cool and crisp? Is it warm and relaxing? Notice what sounds you hear. Weather is your favorite type of weather. Almost as if it's been waiting for you. Maybe you continue to walk. And notice how your body feels. What do you smell? Taking all the beauty around you. eyes open with your feet. As beautiful as this walk is, it's time to rest. And just up ahead you, see a beautiful fern tree. Maybe its branches are swaying. And there's a blanket for you to sit on, shelter. And so you make your way towards it. It's been waiting for you. You sit underneath this tree. Maybe you lean against it. Or you lay under its branches. Just rest. Maybe feel a warm breeze blow across you. Perfectly comfortable. And just allow yourself to receive. Wind's gonna blow hard and cold tonight. Life as it happens, then a little willow hold on tight. Rise, little willow. Rise, little willow. Grow to the heaven. Willow hold on tight. Sleep, little willow. Sleep, little willow. Nothing's gonna take your love. Steal your love away. Nothing's gonna take your peace or getting away. Hey, hey. Rest, little willow. Breathe through it all. Peace gonna fall. Breathe a little. Peace gonna fall. Take these last few moments in your space. Soak up all the rest you gave yourself. Acknowledge you for taking time and so much stress to nourish yourself and in your body. And now you can access this place on your own. It's yours, and you can come back anytime. Start to come back to your body in your own time. There's no rush. Maybe gently start to wiggle your toes, your fingertips. Start to gently open your eyes in your own time, with gentle movements and ease. And present yourself back to the space. And as you come back to the space, just recognize what it feels like to give yourself extra moments of calm and navigate how you can use this in your day-to-day life if it shall fit for you. And thanks for following along with me. And as we near the end of the presentation, this is some information in which if you felt that you can utilize Long Island Music Therapy or would like some more information, whether for your needs or for somebody in your life, please feel free to reach out to us at Long Island Music Therapy at the email and phone number provided above. Long Island Music Therapy at gmail.com, 631-245-0275, as well as find us on Facebook and Instagram. And so now maybe opening up the space for any questions that may be coming up, or maybe sharing an experience of what that relaxation was like for you. All is
Thank you,
welcome.
Lauren. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for a nap. That was very relaxing. Thank you.
Of course.
Does anybody have any questions or comments? Andre, you can either unmute yourself or if you want to type it in, I'll read it for you.
Okay. Yes. First of all, I'd like to thank you for the performance and also showing the slides and teaching us this information. And I would also like to ask, uh, what causes the relaxation in our bodies from listening to the music? Is it because our breathing slows down and that opens up our valves? I'm curious about that.
That's a great question, and you know it's many things, and there, like I said earlier, there is a bit of a phenomenological aspect to music in which we all have our innate connections and emotional ties to things. So what may sound relaxing to one may not sound relaxing to another, but generally there are principles in which we know, and you're hitting on a few of them, Andre, in the sense of tension and release, right? Guiding, and there's a principle called entrainment in which our brain our mirror neurons in our brain want to match our environment. So that's like if you go to the gym and you're putting on maybe some fast-paced dance music when you're running, that can give us a little boost of energy, right? Because our body wants to match that pace. And so slowing down, putting things in a rocking sense can support our breathing slowing down, like you mentioned, which can aid that tension and release in our body as well.
So it follows your emotions, basically. It connects to your emotions.
Absolutely. You're 100% on. Great question. Thank you.
I was also wondering, do insurance companies cover any of your services?
We do. So there are, I'm fortunate enough that I work for Long Island Music Therapy, in which Lauren Klimek navigates the billing aspect of this. And I am grateful to be the clinician in the aspect, but insurance and billing does work out. And this could be a question specific to one's case to reach out to the email provided as well as the phone number, given that it is so specific and uh, really narrowed in on those specific person, but music therapy generally is covered by particular services.
That's helpful. Great. And now during one of the sessions, I assume you have one of these, like the experientials or well, can you tell us exactly what goes on and how long is usually a session?
Of course. So general, and again, I apologize that I can't give concrete answers because it's music isn't necessarily prescriptive. There are so many aspects in which are studied and research-based and evidence-based that we know, such as entrainment and all of these clear indicators that we can utilize. But music, unfortunately, isn't like going to your general medical practitioner in which they can prescribe you a set answer. It's a relationship in which it may fluctuate and change with the goals, where the person's at in the session, and it really depends on what is going on, but some concrete details in which a music therapy session may look like is it could range from 30 minutes to an hour. Music therapy can be individual services, it can be a group, it may be in a community music therapy setting to enhance community bonds and social gains. It could additionally be utilized for receptive measures in which the client would like to just receive and is able to receive the music and engage in a therapeutic relationship in that way. Music therapy can look like compositional, in which the therapist and the client may create their own songs. It may be recreational, in which there is a particular song that has a specific meaning and there's some emotional exploration that could take place there through some recreative singing, through lyric analysis, or it could be, or a lyric rewrite, or it could even be improvisational, in which it may be vocal or instrumental, and we just create. And the therapeutic process can happen in that as well as the debriefing afterwards.
Awesome. It's great how it can be so individual, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, and if we think of ourselves, we're very rarely the same on a day-to-day basis, right? We may have one mood one day and another feeling in a few minutes, depending what's going on. So it's highly back and forth and reciprocal.
Yeah. Do you have a question for
I
us?
see some waves.
Yes, unfortunately, I don't know why we had, it was beautiful, you starting out, and I love the picture, but we had interference, and I don't know why. It sounded like a razor in the background. So unfortunately, it took away from some of the almost meditation. But
Mm,
I have I have worked in a nursing and rehab scene and gone to some seminars about music with people that have dementia and Alzheimer's, and it is absolutely amazing. I mean, what it does for every human being, but what it does for people that have that disease is really amazing.
yeah, I'm first off, I'm sorry that that was your experience with the meditation, but it just goes to show how many daily stressors we encounter, right? And whether it could just be the sound of something that doesn't sit with us auditory wise and is distressing, or it may be taking us away from our relaxation. I'm sorry that was your experience, but such a gentle reminder to really soak in those moments of calm when we can create them, right? But absolutely, like you're saying, your experience music therapy is known to support so many people across the lifespan, and Alzheimer's and dementia and mild cognitive impairment are certainly some of those areas. It
What
sounds like you've had meaningful experiences.
right? What a lot of some nursing homes have done is they've had iPads that were donated and uh, talk to the family and would actually do a playlist of the music that the resident, was either of their generation. And it was amazing. It was amazing. People that didn't speak, can sing to the music and know the words. It's just mind boggling.
Yeah, absolutely. You're hitting on so many social things that tend to come up, and you can see in our emblem here where words fail, music speaks. And you're bringing in such an important aspect, and I'm so glad that you did, because it sounds like you're speaking to the therapeutic powers of music. And of course, we like to say as music therapists that we don't own the use of music, but the therapy comes in that makes it music therapy is the relationship. So an iPad and playing those music of formative times back in their generation, like you said, can be so supportive. But it's a little different than music therapy in the sense that there's a relationship with another trained professional in front of you. But certainly, music on its own is so powerful and is only heightened in the therapeutic relationship.
It is. And they're both on the, we did get something. We had the unfortunate sound of uh, noise, whatever it was. But
Mhm.
thank you, though. We did enjoy it.
Of course, and again, I hope you can take this next few minutes after the presentation to maybe give yourself the gift of relaxation in your own way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions that I can answer?
I assume that you have clients that are children, right? Like music therapy must be a really great way to help, younger folks.
Absolutely. So we as music therapists work across the lifespan. So from birth in neonatal as well as to the end of life, um, in hospice or palliative care or just general aging communities. So at Long Island Music Therapy, a base of our clients is typically school-age children, but we also work with young adults. We also work with those at the end of life, everybody mixed in between.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Last
Yes.
caller, any more questions?
Hello.
Hi.
Um, I have a question. Now you said that we can contact you at Long Island Music Therapy gmail.com then?
Yes, Long Island Music Therapy at gmail.com. Correct.
No, that will be you, that will be you. That's your Gmail or what? Yes?
That will be my director, Lauren Klimek. But if
Okay.
something comes up, you can absolutely reference that you've learned about our services from this engagement in which I spoke. But
Okay.
of course, you'll be reaching Lauren Klimek.
Okay, well, if I do this, then the Gmail, would she be can I see what other classes you're gonna be doing on Zoom, like, on other libraries and stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm so glad that you brought that up. Please feel
yeah,
free to reach out if it's for information or services or
okay,
other groups that in which we may do.
okay, thank you. I enjoyed this. This was very nice.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you all could join us. And
Mhm.
are there any more questions?
I don't see anything in the chat. I want to thank you again, Lauren, for your time and your expertise and talent. And thank everybody for joining us. As I mentioned earlier, the program is being recorded. So within a couple of days, we'll have it up on the library's YouTube channel if you want to take a listen again.
Great. Well, thank you guys for having me and thank you for joining me in this time. And I wish you nothing but the best. And please feel free to reach out if anything comes up.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Mhm.
Everybody have a great night. Be safe.
Okay,
So thank
bye.
you.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.